A woman is practicing walking like a zombie. Look at her stiff limbs and convulsions. That's a bit over the top. Even the zombie in red next to her can't stand it. He reminds her that she's overacting. The girl tones it down a bit, following the red-clad zombie, and she sneaks through. Back at the red-clad zombie's place, he treats her with canned food. Afraid she might choke, he thoughtfully brings her a beer. The human girl smiles at the zombie for the first time. The zombie's flirting is slightly successful. Are they going to propagate little zombies? It turns out that in the future world, the majority of humanity has been infected by an unknown virus and turned into zombies. The fortunate survivors have established a human base. Jenny and her boyfriend leave the base to search for supplies outside. They just happen to encounter a hungry horde of zombies. Other zombies are only focused on the flesh, but the little zombie in red is different. He's only interested in brains, because by eating a human's brain, he can have the memories of the person eaten and regain the feeling of being human. Zach took a liking to Jenny at first sight, having eaten Jenny's boyfriend's brain before, so he knew their memories. Seeing Jenny in danger, he approached Jenny. This startled Jenny, and she threw a dagger at him, but Zach felt no pain. Jenny was so scared that her legs gave way, and she sat on the ground. To Jenny's surprise, however, Zach didn't hurt her. Instead, he applied zombie fluid to her face, and carefully sniffed her neck. After confirming that the human scent was covered, he took her and mixed her in with the zombie crowd. Zach brought Jenny back to his home, and he lives in an airplane. It's so cool for a zombie to have a human girlfriend. He even took the time to fix his hairstyle. With a clumsy voice, Zach tells Jenny that he won't hurt her, but his mouth full of blood frightens Jenny. She hid in the corner, holding her knees and crying uncontrollably, and dared not to look at Zach even once. Zach is down, and he decides to give Jenny some personal space. To understand Jenny better, Zach ate her boyfriend's brain again. It turns out that Jenny had been chased by a group of zombies before. No wonder she was so scared of him. It seems a warm approach is needed. Zach adjusted his expression, making himself look as kind as possible. He came to Jenny again. Jenny was holding a knife tightly, shaking with fear, but Zach just came over to cover her with a blanket. The zombie even played music for Jenny to listen to, telling her that he just wanted to protect her. This series of actions left Jenny dumbfounded. To let Jenny rest assured, although Zach couldn't sleep, he still sat on the other side, closing his eyes and pretending to sleep. At this moment, Zach's heart had a trace of red color like blood. The next day, when Jenny woke up, she found Zach sitting next to her. She tells Zach that she is hungry. Zach did not doubt and went to find food for Jenny. Before leaving, he didn't forget to remind Jenny not to go out. It's very dangerous outside. But as soon as Zach left, Jenny ran out of the airplane. The result was that she almost became a zombie's dessert. Fortunately, Zach arrived in time. He made Jenny pretend to be a zombie to escape the danger. After being saved by Zach again, Jenny finally realized that Zach in front of her would not hurt herself. She let go of her guard, seriously told Zach that she wanted to go home. But Zach just had the chance to say goodbye to being single. Seeing a glimmer of progress, how could he let her go back so easily? A zombie falls in love with a human girl, Zach said. It was too dangerous outside. He asked Jenny to promise him to stay for another 2 days. To comfort Jenny, they went car racing together. They listened to records together. They danced together. When Jenny thought of her deceased boyfriend, she was heartbroken and shed tears. Zach was a bit awkward, because it was he who took the boyfriend's life. That night, Zach had his first dream. He dreamed of the scene of killing Jenny's boyfriend. Zach woke up abruptly, but found that Jenny was gone again. Zach hurried out to look for her, and Jenny was being attacked by Baldy and a few zombies. When Jenny was about to be eaten, Zach knocked down Baldy with a punch, and pushed over the other zombies with brute force. At this moment, Baldy stood up, questioning Zach why he didn't eat the living. It turns out that Baldy and Zach were best friends, but Zach told Baldy that this woman is not to be eaten. But the sound of fighting alerted the king of the zombies, the skeleton zombie. In the future world, 80% of humanity has become zombies. Some powerful zombies have become skeleton zombies. Zach couldn't beat them. He could only run away with Jenny. After barely escaping from that skeleton zombie, they walked out of the door and met 3 more. At the critical moment, thanks to Baldy's arrival, he drove and knocked the skeleton zombies flying. But before the 2 could catch their breath, they encountered more zombies. They were surrounded, even as their own kind. Zach felt that this time was very dangerous. He subconsciously protected Jenny behind him, and their hands were held together. This scene shocked all the zombies. The zombies were touched in their hearts and moved. Zach took Jenny, and they walked safely through the zombie crowd. They drove away from the zombies. The 2 came to a house. Jenny wanted to rest for a while, but she was afraid to sleep alone, so she asked Zach to share a room with her. That night, Zach literally fell asleep, and had a beautiful dream. But when he woke up the next day, he found that Jenny had left alone. She had returned to the human camp after all. The zombie slept next to the girl for a night. The next day, he found that the girl had returned to human society. Zach knew that a zombie and a human cannot be together. He walked in the heavy rain, disheartened. Just like a human being lovesick, he didn't walk for long. Zach unexpectedly met other zombies. It turned out that after they saw Zach holding hands with Jenny, the hearts of the zombies also had a trace of blood color, but they were partly human and partly ghost. They were driven out of the camp by the skeleton zombies. Baldy told Zach. The skeleton zombies were preparing to break into the human base and kill Jenny. Knowing that Jenny was in danger, Zach decided to protect Jenny. He used the memory of Jenny's boyfriend, went into the human base through a secret passage, and successfully found Jenny. Jenny was also very excited. They hugged tightly, which also frightened Jenny's sister. The zombie had consciousness and could speak and communicate. Zach told them that the terrifying skeleton zombies were about to invade the human base, and ordinary zombies like himself were changing. Zach hoped to ally with humans. Have you ever seen such a handsome zombie? Apply some white foundation. Fix the hairstyle. Add some red lipstick. And a touch of blush. Unexpectedly, after the little zombie's makeup, he was handsome. Jenny and her sister were stunned. They went to discuss with Jenny's father about fighting against the skeleton zombies together. Jenny's father is the highest commander. Zach walked into the crowd, very nervous, but no one noticed him. When they came to Jenny's father, after only 2 sentences, he was seen through by the experienced father. The father didn't give them a chance to explain. He immediately drew his gun, ready to take out Zach. Fortunately, Jenny's sister helped out. This gave Zach and Jenny just enough time to escape. When they returned to the square, they found that a horde of zombies had already gathered there, and the skeleton zombies were closing in step by step. Zombies can be kind-hearted too. Baldy told Zach to take Jenny and escape. He and his companions would hold off the skeleton zombies. At that moment, the human military forces launched an attack on the zombie camp. A squad quickly encountered the skeleton zombies, but against the invulnerable skeleton zombies, the squad was no match. They suffered heavy losses. It seemed like the squad was about to be wiped out when suddenly a zombie charged out. He used a fire extinguisher to take down the skeleton zombies and extended a hand of friendship to the human soldiers, touching them deeply. Zach and Jenny ran upstairs but were ambushed by a skeleton zombie hiding in the corner, catching them off guard. Seeing Jenny being pinned to the ground by the skeleton zombie, with her life hanging by a thread, Zach became furious. He stood up, grabbed a phone, and dealt with the skeleton zombie. At that moment, the human reinforcements arrived, watching in bewilderment. No one had ever seen such a scene before. Zombies were fighting each other. The human military was confused, unsure which side to support. Baldy, being smart, directly threw a skeleton zombie over, and shouted, "Help me take it out." The soldier instinctively fired and killed the skeleton zombie. Baldy then expressed his gratitude, and greeted the human soldier, making it clear which side the human forces should support. On the other side, Zach and Jenny encountered over a dozen skeleton zombies again. With no way out, they ran to the balcony, and leaped off. Zach used his body as a cushion to protect Jenny, landing hard in a pool of water. But fortunately, he was mostly unharmed. After embracing, suddenly a bullet hit Zach. It was Jenny's father who had arrived. He intended to kill Zach but was stopped by Jenny. At that moment, they were astonished to discover that Zach was bleeding, dyeing the pool of water red. Everyone knew that zombies do not bleed. It seemed that Zach had truly become a human. This also made Jenny's father start to believe that zombies could indeed revert to being human. He ordered all human soldiers to fight alongside the regular zombies, and together they eliminated all the skeleton zombies. In the end, the regular zombies gradually turned back into humans. Zach and Jenny were together. Baldy also found his true love. The great wall that separated zombies and humans slowly crumbled under the setting sun. Humans would rebuild their homeland. The end. The film is called Warm Bodies. Question for this episode: do you like this story? If you enjoy it, I recommend watching the original film. That's all for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.